You need to get unplugged from this chronic redundant cycle that you think going to the bathroom every 3 days is normal. If your children are not going to the bathroom routinely, see, a baby should be going 3-4 times a day. If your adolescents are not going every day or twice a day, that's a problem. And if your young adults are not going every day or twice a day, that's a problem.
Neck pain, backaches, headaches, fatigue, the list goes on, and you're likely on it. Tired of the broken system and big pharma? We offer logical solutions, teach you to think critically, and empower you to reclaim your health. Welcome to the Unplugged Healthcast with Dr. Kevin Wall.
Hey, welcome back to the Unplugged Healthcast. This is your host, Dr. Kevin Wall. Cows, colonoscopies, and constipation. Have you ever seen a cow get a colonoscopy? Have you ever seen a cow have constipation? See, growing up on the farm, it was assigned to me early on that my job on the farm was to take care of the cattle. My dad was great at teaching me work ethic early on. Taking care of the cattle mean you were up early every morning feeding the cattle. And at the end of the day, you feed the cattle again. And what I learned early on, working on the farm, working with the farm animals, whether it was the cattle, the horses, the pigs, the goats, the sheep, is that whenever you fed the cattle, within a couple of hours, the cattle, what went in was coming out. Yep, number 2. Our topic today, cows, constipation, and colonoscopy. How is number 2 working for you? We're going to dig in deep. Yeah, all pun intended. We're going to figure out why this part of healthcare stinks. See, somebody has told you that you are a unique farm animal, that somehow going to the bathroom every other day, 2 or 3 times a week, that somehow this was normal. And I'm here to tell you, this is far from normal. What goes into you needs to come out, and it can't be every 3rd day. See, you'll never find a cow needing a colonoscopy, and you'll almost rarely ever find a cow or a horse or a sheep having colon cancer. See, constipation is a widespread issue in America. Reported up to 20% of people admittably deal with constipation. Furthermore, 62% of all constipated patients are too embarrassed to even tell their doctor about it. So I can tell you that statistic is higher than it's actually reported to be. I believe constipation is a much bigger issue, especially by the way they define constipation. Defined constipation is an idiopathic condition. Idiopathic means nobody knows why. Medically, they define you're having a normal bowel movement if you have a bowel movement every 3 days. This is not true. You'll never see a cow go more than 12 hours, let alone 3 days. I would change the definition of constipation, meaning that if you're not going 1 to 2 times a day, you're constipated. And when you take that statistic into this measurement, I think we're going to find the statistics of people having what I would term constipation, bowel dysfunction, is well into the 40 to 50% ratios. And the medical system has no real answer for it. In fact, their answers really are making it worse. Their answers are laxatives and colonoscopies. See, I'm not a fan of either one. That may be a controversial statement, but let me tell you why. Statistics out there say nearly half of patients are getting colonoscopies they don't need. Controversy surrounds colonoscopies. There's a debate over the effectiveness of the procedure actually reducing colon cancer deaths at all. This is highlighted by a large European study just a few years ago that showed a much smaller benefit than previously reported. They estimate only 5% of polyps they find ever become cancerous. Other issues relative to colonoscopies come into the invasive nature of the test, the prep, the need for sedation. The risk is low, but there are serious complications like perforations to your colon and bleeding that comes from constant removal of polyps, often that have no real health issues. And there's a lot of concerns for missed polyps, especially for the people who have constipation. Picture what's going on. The tube is occluded. The camera is difficult to see. When you are full of fecal matter, colonoscopies are very undiagnostic. Well, whether you get a colonoscopy or not is not my opinion or recommendation, but the real answer for constipation goes only really in the form of laxatives. See, people often get hooked on laxatives, and it's their really only solution. The redundant use of laxatives on your system creates damage to your liver and also damage to your gut function. See, it is designed to weaken your smooth muscles in your intestinal tract, and redundant use over time causes a weakening of your smooth muscle in your intestinal tract, creating a vicious cycle of not only redundant constipation, but redundant need for more and more medication and laxatives. Long-term laxative use have been related to hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, anxiety, depression, and irritable bowel syndrome.
Imagine a life where every movement doesn't come with a price tag of pain. At AFC, we don't just treat symptoms, we rebuild your confidence, one personalized treatment at a time. Our approach goes beyond temporary relief, targeting the root of your pain and helping you rediscover what your body can really do. Don't settle for surviving. Call us or visit our website today.
Some of you just think constipation is no big deal. I'm just not going enough, or I'm going every other day, or maybe every third day. What's the big deal? Well, let's take a moment and listen to a popular video out there to teach us a little bit more about the concerns and issues relative to constipation.
If you are not eliminating properly, that means that there's a poor absorption of certain nutrients in your body and certainly some inflammatory based component. And if we know that intestinal permeability, increased intestinal permeability or leaky gut leads to the majority of autoimmune issues, as well as inflammation leading to heart disease, high blood pressure, and more, we know that that starts with the gut. And if bowel movements are a good representation of what's going on in your digestive system, if you're not having 1 to 2 bowel movements per day, there's something not quite in balance with your body. And I've got lots of shows on constipation or loose stool, but it could be a fiber intake, it could be a hydration, it could be low stomach acid, it could be high stomach acid, it could be candida overgrowth, could be parasites, could be SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, could be H. pylori.
All right, well, there you go. Well, 1 to 2 would be considered normal. Every 3 days, that's a problem. The problem, though, isn't just that you're uncomfortable, although you are. The problem isn't that you're just bloated and distended. The problem isn't that you're just fatigued or end up with indigestion or irritable bowel syndrome. The real problem really comes into what they call leaky gut syndrome. See, when your bowels are not eliminating correctly, the food stays in there way too long, and all of a sudden it starts leaking or being reabsorbed back into your system. When you start absorbing these toxic material, this waste product that you're supposed to be getting rid of routinely, then you got issues, because that stuff starts showing up into your bloodstream, into your endocrine system, your lymphatic system. You end up with what is now termed leaky gut or autoimmune disorders relative to leaky gut syndrome. See, when that stuff is inside your system and your body knows it shouldn't be there, it starts attacking it. That is, again, the definition of this autoimmune disorder. But the conditions that you're getting, the diagnosis that you're being labeled with are Crohn's disease, celiac disease, metabolic conditions like even type 1 diabetes, diverticulitis, kidney disease, gastric and colorectal cancer, ischemic colitis, and even Parkinson's disease has been relative to constipation and leaky gut issues. See, this is not just a discomfort. This is not you're just spending too much time in the bathroom. The reality of this, the mystery of constipation, is that it's really not a mystery. See, what it really means, the real definition is your bowels aren't working. Your bowels are dysfunctional. They're just not working at the rate that they should be. Watch the cow. I'm telling you, it isn't so abnormal that you would be going at a frequency similar to your farm animals. Even watch your pets. You'll see if your dog isn't going to the bathroom every 2-3 days, he's got a problem. Why do you think it's different for you? I'm telling you, something here in the farm stinks. You're concerned about polyps. I get it. You're concerned about cancer. I get it. The doctor tells you you need colonoscopies. I'm not arguing. I'm just telling you the better metric of whether or not your colon is really healthy starts long before you need a colonoscopy. It starts by often the age of 25 to 35, whereas a lot of people get stuck in the bathroom way too long. I am shocked often when I go into the men's room. I'm in, I'm out of there. And people are in there and they're not reading the paper. I'm telling you, they're in there for 10, 15, 20 minutes. If you're in the bathroom even for more than a few minutes, there's issues with your ability to eliminate. You've got to take this serious. This long-term toxicity, this long-term constipation, this bowel dysfunction, this is leading to things even more concerning is malnutrition, because when your body can't digest, it will keep the material in there longer. It's not just that you're dehydrated, but you could be dehydrated. It's the fact that your body's often trying to get the nutrients out. It knows it's not digesting it, keeps the material longer. And so as a result, not only is constipation uncomfortable, it's an indication of malabsorption, malnutrition. And when you don't absorb your food correctly, when you don't digest your food correctly, when you don't get the proper nutrients, there's a huge amount of conditions that are relative to that. So what's better than a colonoscopy? Well, healthy bowel movements. That's a better measurement than you're ever going to get from your proctologist.
Is chronic pain holding you back? At AFC, our team is committed to your well-being. We provide holistic care, including chiropractic, physical medicine, immunotherapy, detox programs, and more. Our experts target the root cause of your pain for lasting relief. Book your consultation online or by phone and experience our smooth process. AFC, embrace a life without pain.
All right. Well, if I haven't woke you up by now, it's time to wake up. You need to get unplugged from this chronic redundant cycle that you think going to the bathroom every 3 days is normal. And this isn't a laxative problem or a Metamucil problem. These are real problems and they need real solutions. Well, here at the Unplugged Healthcast, we're not just throwing rocks and waking you up, but we're going to bring you real answers. So I got some really important things for you to listen to. I got the top 5 solutions for your constipation, but before we get to those top 5, here's one thing that's really got to be understood. If your children are not going to the bathroom routinely, see, a baby should be going 3-4 times a day, and I often have seen babies go 2 to 3 days, and your pediatricians say that's no big deal. That's a big deal. If your adolescents are not going every day or twice a day, that's a problem. And if your young adults are not going every day or twice a day, that's a problem. So here's the simplest answer for your infants and your adolescents. Take them to the chiropractor. Oh my gosh, it's so easy. I have not had any child I couldn't fix constipation in. It's unbelievable. Often you'll treat them on the table and all of a sudden things are going. You got a diaper full before they leave the office, and they haven't went to the bathroom for days. Your chiropractor is one of the best answers for your infants and your adolescents on getting their bowels moving, getting their digestive function working at a normal rate. Outside of that, here we go. The top 5 ways for you to correct your constipation, for you to be more like the cows and the farm animals. Number 1, digestive enzymes and probiotics. See, dysbiosis is the name that you probably are dealing with. This is a problem within your microbiome, which is in your gut. You should have an abundance of good bacteria. When you have good bacteria, you have symbiosis. When you have bad bacteria overwhelming the good bacteria, you have dysbiosis. And dysbiosis, an overgrowth of yeast, an overgrowth of bad bacteria, or an undergrowth of the good bacteria, leads to constipation. These bacteria are vital for you breaking the food down at a rapid rate for your bowels to move correctly. If your body knows it's not breaking it down, it's going to keep the food in there longer. So just good bacteria and digestive enzymes. You can find those online everywhere. Very simple answer. Number one, digestive enzymes and good bacteria. Number two, exercise. Exercise stimulates peristalsis, the wave-like motion that moves waste throughout your intestines. This reduces the chance of constipation, reduces risk of colon cancer. Research shows that regular physical activity may reduce the risk of developing colon cancer by 24%. Come on, get off the couch. Get out, get moving, and you need to have vigorous activity. I don't believe walking is enough to do that. Get on a treadmill. Get your heart rate up a bit. Get on an elliptical machine. Get on a stair stepper, stairmaster, a stair climber. Get on a bike. You've got to get your heart rate up to get the peristalsis moving. Number three, gallbladder and liver flush. If you haven't listened to our last couple of podcasts on toxicity and detoxing and liver issues, you need to go back. If you haven't bought the 12-step detox from my good friend, Dr. Chris DeRay, you need to go buy it. But I'm telling you, most of you people, your liver is so sluggish, so overloaded. Your gallbladder is plugged up with soft and hard gallstones. You may not even have any idea that you have gallbladder issues. But the liver flush, the gallbladder flush, it allows your body to start producing bile at a normal amount and excreting it into your intestinal tract, which helps you break down fats and other foods. But more importantly, it helps you produce bile salts, and bile salts clean your colon out. You need to consider a simple liver flush, gallbladder flush. Go look up my buddy's book, The 12-Step Detox by Dr. Chris DeRay. You can find it on Amazon, and get a liver gallbladder flush going. It'll help your constipation drastically. Number four, you've got to eliminate the preservatives and the fast foods out of your diet. You've heard it before, but it's just a simple thing. Healthy fruits, healthy vegetables with normal sources of fiber. See, Metamucil, taking fiber from a box or from a supplement, isn't horrible. It's just not the same. It just doesn't really work. You need good fresh fruits and vegetables for your bowels to move at a normal rate. The best sources of these and the fiber are whole foods like whole grains, apples, pears, vegetables, green leafy, broccoli, green vegetables like green beans and asparagus, things that are hard to chew. And don't cook these things until they're soft. If they're too soft, you've probably killed the fiber. There needs to be a crunch in your vegetable, a crunch in your fruit. Bananas, they're not bad, but they're really not helpful for your bowel movements. Whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds. Pumpkin seeds are really good for you. Chia seeds, really great for your digestive tract. High fiber examples: berries, apples, avocados, black beans, lentils, chia seeds, broccoli, whole grain breads, oatmeals, and popcorn, actually. Not with all the grease and the butter, just maybe lightly salted with sea salt, Himalayan salt, great for you. But you've got to find natural, good forms of fiber and eat those routinely. And number five, this one's going to blow you away. You need to consider coffee enemas. Let's watch a very important video to help you understand the benefit.
Most people have no idea their liver is overloaded with toxins. I didn't either. This simple strategy, though, changed everything for me. Your liver is responsible for filtering out toxins, breaking down fats, and supporting digestion. But when it's overloaded, your body can't detoxify itself properly, leaving you inflamed, exhausted, and stuck in survival mode. That's why I use this powerful, research-backed detox therapy, coffee enemas. Here's how they work. Palmitic acid in coffee stimulates glutathione production, your body's most powerful antioxidant. It triggers your liver to dump stored toxins, cleansing your bloodstream every 3 minutes like a natural dialysis. It reduces inflammation, clears your brain fog, and improves energy levels. Here's how to get the best results though. Use organic, caffeinated coffee. Decaf won't work because caffeine is what stimulates liver detox. Hold enema for 15 minutes if you can. Your body cycles blood through the liver every 3 minutes, meaning 5 full detox cycles. After incorporating coffee enemas, I noticed more energy, mental clarity, less inflammation, and better digestion. A stronger detox response, helping my body eliminate toxins fast. Most people don't realize how powerful this is for healing. Want to learn more about detox strategies? Comment protocol below and I'll send you my full healing guide. And for those that are discouraged and overwhelmed, know this: God's grace is sufficient. He is for you and not against you, and your life is of great worth and value to Him. I love you all.
All right, well, there you go. I bet none of you, very few of you, have ever considered a coffee enema. You've heard about enemas. You maybe have done something in that category. Maybe you got one from the doctor, but I doubt it was a coffee enema. This has been around a long time. This isn't a fad. This has been around forever. I worked with a cancer doctor that treats stage 3, stage 4 cancer naturally with unbelievable results. And part of his constant routine for his patients was coffee enemas. Yep, you heard it here. You need to go do the research and consider it. The concept of enemas, not so abnormal, but the real variation. And it's been proven to help people prevent and or even kill cancer cells. So there you go. 5 things you can do to eliminate your constipation naturally. I'm not here telling you never get a colonoscopy. I just think you need to consider there are dangers to these. They're overdone every year. I'm not a fan. I think there's better ways, and some of the best things you can do is just understand your colon needs to be moving. 2 bowel movements a day, would be the goal for you. Not every year get a colonoscopy and hope you don't get cancer. The best treatment is prevention. So if you want to be healthy, then you need to be like the cows. Maybe avoid the colonoscopies and definitely not deal with your constipation. All right, well, this is Dr. Wall. And again, if you'll do me a favor, share these podcasts. People need to hear different views, alternative options to be healthy, because we got a state of chronic illness going on in America that's epidemic levels. Share this podcast. If you want to be a guest on our show, if you want to be a caller on the show, let me know. We're taking callers and answering your problems, your solutions. But you got to go to our website, drkevinwall.com or theunpluggedhealthcast.com. But if you don't do that, at least come join us again on the next Unplugged Healthcast. And always remember, be healthy, be blessed, never give up, never give in. We'll see you again on the next Unplugged Healthcast.
The information provided in this podcast is for general knowledge and informational purposes only. It does not constitute medical advice. Always consult with a qualified healthcare professional for diagnosis and treatment of any medical condition. The views and opinions expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Unplugged Healthcast or Dr. Wall.